this morning I'm down at La Perouse in Sydney. Quite cloudy. It was very foggy early this morning. That's why I came down here. I headed towards Sydney City, and when I saw the fog I thought it'd be quite moody down here, and would have been a good and make some good shots. So it's quite interesting actually hearing the planes come into Sydney Airport and not being able to land. I don't even know why they're trying it. It was so thick this morning, but the photos will be pretty good. I just thought I'd show you my my camera setup so you can get an idea of what I'm using to get my HDR. So you can see there I've got the 55X Pro, the Pro B, the Manfrotto with a ball head there. Actually, it's quite a heavy tripod, and that ball head does have some slip in the portrait mode, so I'm probably going to get a really right stuff head for that. That's my D700 there, and that little green cube on the top is a level that I got on eBay for about $6. One of the best things that I've bought, because even though this camera's got the virtual horizon, it's much easier just to use the hot shoe bubble level. With the HDR, you've got to get the 5 shots bracketed. With the Nikon, it brackets 1 exposure value apart, just a plane going past. The D700, or most Nikons I think, will let you do 1 exposure value apart, and you can then program whether you want it to be 3, 5, 7 or 9, and then really only need the +2, the 0 and the -2 in most cases, unless you're shooting into the sun. The Nikons, the D700 in particular, I know the D300 is the same, so I've had that as well. With this you can actually program in your exposure bracketing, which is what I've done. So I'll just show you from the top here so you can sort of get a feel for it. You see my LCD screen there. If I hit my programmable button, so there's 2 buttons here. I don't know if you can see them that well, but the top button's my preview button for the aperture, and this, so that opens and closes the aperture blades, moves them around based on my settings. The bottom one there is my programmable button, so I program that for bracketing. So when I hit that and then I rotate this dial on the back here, you'll see it go 0 frames, 3 frames, 5 frames, 7 frames or 9 frames. So I can actually choose how many frames just by very quickly by pressing that button, which I recommend if you're into HDR. That's what you want to do. I've got the Nikon 16 to 35mm VR lens on there, which is a really great wide angle lens. The only challenge with it is there's a fair bit of distortion at the edges at 16mm, so once again, good lens, but I'll probably move towards the 14 to 24 because it's got that ability to reduce the distortion even more. Alright, so essentially what we want to do when we take a HDR shot, if I just bring the menu up, it's another plane going past. They're all struggling because they can't land, so they've got to do what's called a go around and power up. Anyway, so you see this is my menu. You can see it across the top there, it says my menu, and that's the programmable Nikon menu. And in here I've got my interval time of shooting, but yours will be in somewhere else unless you put it into here. These are just the things I use most often, so I like to have them at hand. But if you get the interval timer shooting, there's a little trick with the Nikon you can use to take the 5 exposures for you on the tripod without a cable release. So you just go to the right, then left, then up, and then the OK button, and you'll hear the camera take 5 shots. Here we go. Okay, so the camera's just taken 5 exposures, and if we have a look at the histogram, you'll see it's all bunched up on the right, and then as I go through those 5 exposures it moves across to the left, so we're getting all the dynamic range of lighting in that shot, depending on what we need, and then I'll whack that into Photomatics and I'll get a fairly nice photo. So hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea into what I'm using and how I'm getting a HDR shot.